The tone for the next generation, expecting to see large crowds today. It's going to be a historic moment.
Extremely long. We waited 2.5 hours. A lot of people are becoming disgruntled. Few people are leaving, and we don't need that.
And hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us at 6 here tonight. Computer malfunctions and historic voter turnout meant lines like this in parts of Jefferson County. Election day started with that equipment failure early due to the high number of absentee and early ballots, as it was explained to us. That's according to the Jefferson County Clerk's office. And again, thank you for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt. In fact, moments from now on your screen, you're going to see the very first election results appearing. Those will be the first absentee votes being counted. Well, after the chaos of the morning, the Kentucky Democratic Party filed a motion to extend the polling hours. Just 30 minutes ago, Judge Eric Hayner denied that order, so the polls are closing right now as we're speaking. Polls across the area closed. However, anyone in line is going to get to vote. A clerk's office spokesperson responding to the ruling just 15 minutes ago.
We would do whatever a judge asks us to do, but we do not feel that it was necessary. The county attorney's office spoke to the Board of Elections, and we had most of our places up and running at 6 a.m. There were some that had slower lines, but we felt like we had done everything we could to make sure that we were following those KRS.
Now, more on that KRS state law she referenced there that says polls must be open for 12 hours in Kentucky, and that, of course, is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. WHAS 11's Ian Hardwitt and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie have been covering these issues for this afternoon. They're joining us from a polling place in the Highlands of Louisville, where, again, anyone currently in line can cast their ballots. What's the line like right out there now, Ian?
Doug, the line here at Highlands Middle School is empty, although we did see people trickling in about 5 minutes before 6 o'clock. We're here because we were bringing you that sound from the county clerk spokeswoman who you just heard from. We also talked to voters across the county today and people who were at the elections office. Those delays driving further voter authorizations, pushing people to vote as late as 5 and 6 o'clock today. You can hear from them now. Long lines continued past the morning at Stephen Foster Traditional Academy on 41st Street in West Louisville.
We waited 2.5 hours, and come to find out the reason for waiting are the machines that they're using to check people's addresses. So we got to do something better about that.
Earlier at the Potter's House in Nulu, voter Rance Williams encouraged others to put their patience to the test.
Be very patient, stay in the line, cast your vote.
After waiting 3 hours in the morning, it took another 3 for medical saleswoman Andrea Martin to get voter authorization after reporting her early ballot looked tampered with.
I felt very un-American at that point because you had waited, all that time period just to go finally vote, and just to be turned down and sent to a different location to hopefully get a yes to vote. Terrible.
Courtney Hines also got confirmation for her mother and 2 daughters to vote, but that was by 4 in the afternoon.
Also, they was in line for over an hour just for my mom and my daughter to get up there, and they told her she couldn't vote. Whole time, all her information was completely correct.
Her patience as she raced to closing polls totally ran out. Mayor Craig Greenberg at one point called on the county clerk's office to expand voting hours. However, a spokeswoman for the office responded, saying, quote, "We would appreciate the mayor refraining from telling our office how to conduct elections." And they went on to say they look forward to a successful general election. And over here at Highlands Middle, poll workers speculated their early setup time was the reason they may not have had issues. I'm live in the Highlands, Ian Hardwitt. Doug?
Ian, been doing this a long time for WHAS. I've never seen the county clerk push back on a mayor like that, but either way, we got that decision from Judge Eric Hayner. The polls closed at 6. What kind of reaction did you hear from people around the areas you were talking to today? Did they want those hours to be extended?
There were several people who had issues at that election center earlier, Doug, who they were trying to race back to the polls after getting their authorization, already being pushed back by those early wait times. They definitely said that extra wiggle room would have helped. Okay, Ian Hardwitt covering the issue tonight. He'll be right here again tonight on the night team.